I've had this reading vlog a while coming. My life has fallen apart and we're working on it. But updates on stuff. I got the iPhone 10. Other news, I applied to several places for writing jobs, one of them being Apple. So Steve, if you're watching, get a girl a job. Probably more things have happened than just that, but I did get this in the mail today, which I know is a package that I ordered for myself from Amazon. Also a company I applied to, so Jeff, if you're watching this, hit a girl up. I'm gonna unbox this for everyone. It is no secret that my favorite movie of all time is Barbie Princess and the Pauper. Side note, I just conveniently have it literally sitting next to me right now. This movie is the best movie of all time. I would invite you to fight me about it. The music, the characters, the storyline, literally unmatched. The other day I was looking up whether they had books that were based on that, like Barbie books, and there weren't. But then I came across this. Honestly, I wouldn't have bought a physical copy of this, but it was $3 on Amazon for some reason to get a paperback. So I picked up The Princess and the Pauper Adult Romance Edition by Alexandre Benedict. And this is literally a retelling of, not even the Barbie one, it's a retelling of what the Barbie retelling is based off, but we're gonna pretend like Barbie was the original. So this is a retelling of Barbie. So it's about this princess who, whenever she was younger, she had this servant boy who worked underneath her, and she was always really cruel to him, and he loved her, but she never recognized him. Oh, how the turntables. And then whenever they grow up, the guy is super wealthy and successful. He is the one that has to call upon her. Honestly, this sounds like it could be really, really one-star trash fire, because it's talking about, literally it says, now he is her master. So I'm really nervous, but it's Barbie. It's gonna be great. Honestly, they could have taken the lesbian jab at this and just made it two princesses, but I wasn't involved in the book. So while I was on Amazon, I was like, I need to somehow make this $3 order worth it, even though that's really just the way that capitalism wants us to think, and we probably shouldn't think that way. I broke one of my biggest rules. A big rule that I have for myself is that whenever I'm going into a series, I'm only allowed to buy the first book in the series, and I can't buy any of the rest of them, because I know it's so easy to fall into the trap of, I'll buy the whole series, then I'll binge read them. No. I'm always so afraid that I'm gonna read the first one, then not like them, then I'm either stuck with them, trying to reconcile continuing because I want to make it worth my money to read them, or they just sit on my shelf forever, I don't read any of them, then I wasted money buying the whole thing. So I've always told myself, just buy the first one, and you're not allowed to buy any of the sequels until you read the first book. But I bought a sequel the other day. But there's good reason. It was $10, which is really cheap. So I got Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor, which is the sequel to a book that's on my TBR shelf, which is this whole thing, Strange the Dreamer. I guarantee you I'm going to like these books, which is the reason why I was confident that I should buy this one. It's a book about this guy who's obsessed with this magical land, and so he goes and finds it one day, and it's magical. I see some sexy fan art, so hopefully it's pretty sexy. I just love Laini Taylor so much, and everyone loved this book, and I'm really eager to give it a go, and because I have the second one, now I can binge read them. Realistically, I probably won't unless I fall in love with it, but I'm just stoked. Look at these spines. But yeah, this was a no-no. I shouldn't have done this. I usually never do this. So that's my book haul. Long story short, I've just been feeling kind of like a butt because I've been sitting at home all day since I don't work at PetSmart, and I just sleep until 2 and then I go on Twitter. So today I wanted to break that cycle, and I went and met up with my friend named Madelyn, and we've met before at book signings. I really don't even remember how we became friends. I think we literally have just seen each other at book signings so many times. She works at a Barnes & Noble, and I just think she's so funny and she's so friendly. So we met up because I was like, listen, I need to stop complaining that I don't have friends when I come home and just start hanging out with the people that I do know here. My Karen just died as anticipated, but iPhone 10, let's go. I went to Barnes & Noble with Madelyn after we went and got tacos at our favorite taco place. So after we did that, we went book shopping. My goal was to not buy books until after Christmas. It's after Christmas. So I kind of went ham. And honestly, now that I'm home and I saw how much my total was, I probably should have not bought a couple of these, but whatever, let's hop in. The first book I got, absolutely nasty Sudoku. I play Sudoku while I listen to my audiobooks, and the one that I currently have is filling up really quickly, so I bought this one. This is level 4, and they only had level 4 and level 1. The next book I got is The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand, which everyone was raving about over the holiday season, but I still really want to read it. I know even Todd Amafi was saying it was really, really good. It kind of reminds me of The Good Place, which I'm watching right now. So it's like, while she was still living, she was visited by ghosts that told her like she's being selfish and she's being spoiled and she needs to change her ways, and then she didn't, and then she died, so now she's stuck working for Project Scrooge, and she kind of lives a horrible afterlife. I don't know what the plot is contingent on after that, but everyone says the writing is amazing, everyone says it's really interesting, and even if it's just like a 3-star book, it sounds like an awesome concept. Madelyn also bought this book, and we were talking about buying it at a really awkward time because Christmas just passed, but she said it probably is gonna take me until Christmas to actually get to it, and that makes sense for me as well. So that's the reason why I bought it. It's gonna sit on my shelf for 11 months and then I'll read it. Next week I'm meeting Kirsten White at a book signing. I'm so excited. I love her so much. I have a trilogy by her that I loved and I want to get signed, and I'm not familiar with any of her other books and I really wasn't interested in reading them, but the one that did catch my eye is The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein. This is a tiny Frankenstein retelling. I've read Frankenstein. I read it for class 2 years ago and I loved it. I'm interested to see how I like it, having read the book and being obsessed with it and really liking Kirsten White. And if I don't like it, then I'll probably just give it away signed. We'll find out. The last things I got are because I'm an 80-year-old woman. So Barnes & Noble did me dirty. The day that I went, they were having jigsaw puzzles. Buy one, get one 50% off. So I got 2 and I kind of regret it because this was like $25 for puzzles that I'm just gonna do once and then not do again. The first one I got is a Disney one that has 4 different puzzles in it. Am I old? I'm hauling jigsaw puzzles right now. Am I the new candle vlogger? Who cares? This is so pretty. You'll see it. Do you see it? But then I saw this one and my heart lurched. I think this one's so pretty, so I had to get it. It's a little San Francisco one. Look at that. Do you not want to put that together on a rainy day listening to an audiobook? I'm just saying. Let's go, girls. Do. Remember when I said after I graduate I'm gonna get back on a normal schedule and be a human person and not vlog at 5 a.m? Here we are. My options just now laying in bed were roll over and fall asleep or do something productive, take off my goddamn makeup and do a update while I do so, because like that's a thing now with beauty gurus, like get ready with me. So let's do it. I wanted to talk about the book that I finished so that we can actually talk about the reading in the reading vlog instead of just acquiring books vlog. Over the new year I've been working on several books and I was in the middle of like 4 and never finished any of them, but I finished a book last night and you're not going to be shocked that it's a smutty new adult book that was just easy to read. This book is the 4th book in the Wilds season series, which I mentioned several times last year, especially in like my favorites video. It is a quartet, and this is the final one. I could tell you about the first 3 books in the series, but really this book is kind of like a random add-on. Like honestly, you could have kept it at a trilogy and we would have been good. But this book is about a girl named London who's roommates with one of the girls from the original trilogy. She's a bartender who has a really rough past with boys, as we all do because boys are stupid. She really doesn't have dating on her radar, especially whenever a guy comes into the bar she's bartending at and starts hitting her up. Things happen, she changes her mind, but the guy's whole deal is like he's this super big player, and so she's like really untrusting and he's a player. It's all about them like developing trust for each other but having like a friends with benefits one night stand thing happening. I think it's gonna be like a nice 3.5 stars, rounded up to a 4. The thing I love about Christina Lauren books is that the characters are so real. For some reason, their characters are just so human and their interactions are so human. I'm gonna try out this new moisturizer because I ran out of stuff to do while I talk and I still have to talk. Overall, I've just read better romances. Like, I couldn't really personally connect with this plot. Like, in books like Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating, I could really connect to the main character. And this one was just kind of like, I appreciated seeing her story and I understood her fears and her concerns. I wasn't like, that's me. And I feel like it needed that to be like a 5-star book. So the main book that I've been currently reading that I want to finish next is Life After Life by Kate Atkinson, which I just started over the new year because one of my goals this year and last year is to read all the oldest books on my TBR. So last year I did pretty well. I read like 5 books that I don't think I would have picked up if I hadn't pressured myself to read them. So this year, for some reason, I started off super inspired. I was like, I'm gonna read it, let's get it out of the way. And I actually really like it. I am currently 262 pages into this, which is just past halfway. But the plot of this is that this main character, Ursula, she just lives at an estate with her family in like the 1910s, 1920s England. And the twist of this book is that every time that she dies, she gets reborn into her own body. She'll die, but then get reborn reborn, and then by some fate of history changing itself, she'll live through her next life past that point. And it's actually really fascinating because every time she dies, there's this increasing awareness that she's lived this life before. I don't really know what direction this book is going toward, but I think the prologue of this book is her killing Hitler. That could be totally wrong, but I think it's to do with what would you do if you had the chance to redo it. There was especially a chapter in this book that I thought was fascinating where she was contemplating how horrible her life was at one of her lives that she lived, and she was like, if my theory is true and I am getting reborn, then who's to say that I can't just throw myself in front of a train and then get reborn and then restart with a different life, which is just fascinating. And I think this has so much room for discussion, and I like that it's making me think, but it's also really beautifully written. I guess a couple life updates while we're here, because we're going to be seeing them throughout this vlog. I told myself after I graduated college I would really focus on trying to up my dating game. I met someone and he was really sweet and he convinced me to go on a date. So I have a date on Monday, and I know by the time this goes up I'll probably already have gone on it, and I'm probably gonna complain about it later on in this vlog about how anxious I was, but it's very new for me. I don't go on date, like this is literally the first date I've ever been on, and I'm so scared because he doesn't know that, and I feel like I'm weird. I'm also waiting for a lot of job responses at the moment, so in the meantime I applied to do freelance video captioning that I used to do. I've talked about a couple times on my channel for rev.com, and I got accepted. So until I get a job, that's what I'm gonna be doing. Hopefully I can use that to try and get myself back on a schedule, because it's 5:45 a.m. right now and I'm planning on doing a little more reading before actually going to sleep. So wow, I'm kind of a mess at the moment. Hi everyone, today sucks. I woke up with a to-do list, basically just that I want to go shopping today to try and get some jeans, because my only good pair of jeans ripped the other day and I only have one pair left, and so I don't have any winter clothes. So I wanted to go to Old Navy and buy some jeans, and then I was like, I know they're gonna try and bamboozle me, because sometimes when you go to Forever 21 to go to the plus size section, some stores don't have it. So I was like, let me verify that this Old Navy location has a plus size section. So I boop boop boop, I call them up and go, hey, do y'all have clothes for fat people? And they went, no. All the stores other than like one in my area that's like an hour away don't carry plus sizes in stores. So that ruined my morning. I'm just trying to buy jeans. And the only other place that offers jeans in my size for tall sizes are like specialty plus size stores like Torrid and Lane Bryant. But those are like $70 for one pair of jeans. I want to die. And this is the only reason I want to lose weight. I don't feel bad about myself. I don't hate the way I look. I'm just trying to buy jeans for less than $70. And I know like skinny people jeans can also be $70, but y'all can also find jeans for $10 if you want. So I don't want to hear it. Done being salty. I've been listing more books on Depop, which is a selling app. I'm not being sponsored or anything by them. I'm just trying to get money out of the books I'm selling. Go check out my Depop. But I ended up scrolling through just to see what all my friends were posting, and Olivia, whose channel I will link below, was listing a book that I've had my eye on, and I was like, might as well support a friend and pick up a book that I'm interested in reading, that I've heard good things about. So I purchased from her One Day in December by Josie Silver. This book is about a girl named Lori. One day she's on a bus, and outside the window she sees this guy and is instantly in love with him, but then the bus drives away, and so she spends like a year at bus stops and looking around for him. And then it's a story of fate, how they meet otherwise. I don't know, it's deeper than your typical romance. It's not just like Christina Lauren, guy likes girl, which I'm not roasting at all because it's my favorite thing, but this one reads kind of more literarily than just your average porny contemporary. It sounds more heartfelt and maybe slow burn than most romances, but I'm just very eager to read this. Love this cover. I'm really excited to see how I like this. Thank you, Olivia, for sending me your book. Okay, so today took a turn. I am now glammed up and choking on my own voice. Glammed up because Madeline ended up texting me whenever I was just laying in bed, vegging and being upset about nothing. And she was like, hey, let's do something. I was like, you know what? That's a good plan because otherwise I'm just gonna sit here and do nothing. We are going to go to Barnes & Noble and have a little reading date. So I need to bring my book. Location acquired. I parked my truck. Hi, Madeline.
Hi.
Shout yourself out.
Mad BookTube. I haven't posted in like 2 weeks, but follow me anyway.
Madeline is the new bestie ATM because we are trying to live together. Get out of that PetSmart lifestyle.
We're gonna live out 2 broke girls.
You're not allowed to let me buy anything.
Same.
Barnes & Noble date, let's go. We got a window view. We're right by the Obama section. We got our snacks. I need to pull out my book.
You need to pull out.
I'm getting into heaven, Madeline. Don't ruin this for me. This is my plan to actually read today.
I didn't bring my book. So.
Go find one. Okay, change of plans. We invaded the manga and graphic novel section. Now we're gonna buy the books and not read them on our own time in the store, then put them back. What's your haul?
My Brother's Husband, Volume 2, which I don't have the first one, but I read it. This guy, I don't remember his name.
Usual. Oh wait, this isn't all the way up. Hold on. There. Same.
This guy, his twin brother died, and so his
twin brother's widowed
husband comes from Canada to Japan to meet his husband's family after he died. It's real risque. Hope they're gay.
I want to read it so bad. It sounds so good.
The first one was really good. This one, it's dark and creepy, and I don't even know how to explain it. It's this little girl that's like in the other side of the world.
I think I've seen that one around.
Yeah, it's like the world is taken over by this virus or whatever that turns into monsters like him, but for some reason she hasn't turned into a monster even though she's like outside of the safe zone. Because
she's so pure, that's why.
Yeah. And so he takes care of her, and it's really cute.
I want to read that.
Yeah, it's really cute. I have the first one, so you can
okay.
And then Bacchanal. It's in the 1920s in New York, and it's
we stand the diviners?
It's okay.
Oh. Cannot relate.
It's about mobs and stuff.
Okay. Is it set in Japan?
No. It's in New York.
Oh, okay. You said that. I love listening.
We stand.
I kind of went nuts because I just picked up stuff that I thought looked good, except for one of them. Everyone's been telling me to read is Tokyo Ghoul. Ghoul?
Ghoul.
Ghoul. I don't know what it's about. It's about this guy named Ken. You have synopses for all of yours and I'm just like... So he's going on a date with a beautiful woman, but it turns out she's only interested in his body because she is a half ghoul hybrid. There's a war happening in the ghoul world.
It's actually my autobiography.
But yeah, I'm just gonna sit down and read it and see if I like it. Because right now at Barnes & Noble, free shout out Barnes & Noble, sponsor me. They're doing like buy 2 get 1 free for mangas. So I have 6. We'll see. And then I have a book that I saw online called I Hear the Sunspot by Yuki Fumino. Because of his hearing disability, a university student distanced himself from people, but then he meets another person and they become friends. I think it's a male romance. Then I just, purely because of the cover, I don't know what this is about, but it's about vampires. And it's about this guy who is in high school and his life is really boring and he gets bullied, and then one day he gets like accosted in the street by this strange woman and he becomes a vampire. So that cover.
I wish that were me.
I want to die. Wow, Twilight really snapped. Madeline handed this one to me.
Hell yeah.
And I cried reading the synopsis.
Yeah.
So this is about these 2 people who are in a class together and they start to get to know one another and they're hitting it off. And then one day the girl tells him, my memory resets every week.
We stand Adam Sandler, am I right?
So they can only be 1 week friends. I'm gonna cry, it sounds so good. That's so cute. This one, it's about 2 roommates. One of them's Japanese and one of them's Muslim from Saudi Arabia. We love representation. I didn't even read the plot. I just saw a woman with a hijab on the cover and I was like, yes. So if anything, I think I'm gonna buy this one today without even reading it. Wow, we stand representation. And then I jokingly had told Madeline, I was like, are there any mangas about their horse books? There are. But it's the sequel to this one. So I want to read the first one, obviously. That's how books work. It's called Silver Spoon.
It has a cow.
It has a cow. It has a moo-moo. So So I don't know anything about them. I think it's set on a farm. Yeah, he goes to an agricultural high school.
Living your real life.
It's me. He goes to my house. Yeah, they're just at like a farm doing stuff. And there is a page. See, there's horses. Wait, hold on.
Gentleman.
See, there's horses. So I win. I found a manga that's a horse book. And then we were leaving the graphic novel section and I saw this cover and I fell in love with her. She looks so cute. She's a glamorous fashion blogger. Her allergies are out of control. Okay, so it's not girl. That's fine. This art looks bomb and she looks so cute. Even if it's gross, I want to try it. Because I mean, shut up. It looks so cute. See, like it's so colorful and like, so cute.
So cute.
I don't know if I'm gonna buy any of these. Realistically, I don't need to be buying books, but let's be more realistic.
Honestly, neither of us do.
I can't believe we're brave enough to vlog in public.
Honestly.
Vlog squad is shaking. Okay, we both just finished a graphic novel. Oh? Are you crying?
No.
Give me content. Start crying right now.
Stop it.
Give me a review as we zoom out.
My heart is breaking.
How many stars?
5. Like 10 out of 5. I'm gonna, don't look at me.
So, I read the vampire one. I think it was cool, but the thing is, like, I thought the whole plot was gonna be like this vampire attacks him. And then they're like buds. But no, she just kind of like swooped in, was like yeet, and then left it in. And then
He did back out?
Yeah, then it was just him dealing with like, oh, I want blood. So like, it was really cool, and like he makes a friend halfway through and it's like really sweet. But I feel like I need another volume just to see like, does the vampire come back? I want to know.
Yeah.
What's the guy?
Was she just a
She's
plot
on the
device?
cover. I think I would give it like a 4 stars. I want to keep reading. I don't.
Nice.
Here's the thing though. I don't know if I want to buy it.
Then don't, and then read it when it comes out. Just do the same thing. Just read it here.
But it's so pretty. I kind of want it.
It is very pretty.
But I did try and then put back down the farm one just because I picked it up for funsies and it wasn't funsies. Also, I started this one and I read like 2 pages of it and I'm getting it because it's so good. The art is redonkulous. Look at this. I love her.
She's very cute.
It's such a good drawing.
I like the pink-haired one.
I know, I love them all. Okay, let's go adventure. It just came out. Why is it 50% off? It's a steal. You can get 10 of them. Hello everybody, welcome to a Barnes & Noble South Lake tour. So here's the YA section, but most importantly, you walk over here. And here's the Shatter Me section. This is basically where I live. They have everything. Usually they don't have everything. So we got our hardbacks. We got the original. I can't kiss it because I have red lipstick on, but whoever's that is in the future, you're welcome.
That was alright. I got bored.
You're rude. Employees keep walking by. I'm gonna scream.
Oh, hold on. You're focusing. Focusing. Wait. Okay.
I forgot to read my book.
Brag about it. It's fine.
I'm like, it doesn't even feel real, and it's been like a year. Hey, are you guys filming?
Yeah.
Sorry?
We're not allowed to do any filming in the store.
Oh.
Okay. So that's what happens when you self-promo and try and talk about your own book when you're in Barnes & Noble. Okay, I'm
Stay humble, bitches.
First steps to driving. You buckle up. I thought someone was waiting for me to pull out. There's a headlight in my window. Panic, hit the disco. Okay, so the first step is usually you back up, but since no one's in front of us, I'm sorry. I'm so nervous about nothing. Don't hit a person. Or do.
Or do if they're in the way.
I feel like my brights are on, and they are. Wonderful.
It's turned out well.
Literally, why do my brights always come on? You were in the car with me when I drove halfway to your house with the brights on. I'm incompetent at everything I do. There's a curb over there.
You have at least 2 brain cells. At least 2.
Do I?
Yeah.
They would like to. They would like to argue.
To talk?
See, there's a stop sign. I know that you're supposed to stop at those. So, where's my Allstate bonus? Oh shit! Sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to drive. But I made it. Now I'm gonna nervously drive home, so thank you, Madeline, for the vlogumentary footage.
No worries. Bye, fam.
I dropped Madeline off. I'm home now. I'm beginning to freak out because my date is tomorrow and I just remembered, and I'm like, Honestly, I'm less nervous and more like dreading it. Hello. Hi, I'm still in here. Please, thank you. Guys, I don't know what I'm doing. I think that's what it is. I just don't know, like, meeting someone randomly and being like, do I like you? I'm psyching myself out before it even's begun. Like, I overthink everything. Ugh. I woke up today at 10. I've had butterflies all day and I feel like I might be ill. I don't even know if I'm gonna have an appetite to have this brunch because I'm so nervous, but it's time for me to leave. Okay, I have to go drive there now. I'm freaking out. It went really well. I feel like a high school girl, like giggly about it, and I don't know. I think I was just so nervous at the concept of a date that when it went fine and it was fine, I was like, I don't want to talk a lot about things because it's still like personal life. We exchanged numbers. He was great in person. I don't know why I was so afraid. I did end up buying books from Barnes & Noble yesterday, but I didn't vlog last night to do like a wrap up of what I actually ended up purchasing. So let's do that. So the first book that I bought, I said I was gonna get no matter what. I got the book with the hijabi woman on the cover. Satoko and Nada by Yupachika. Literally don't know a single thing about this and didn't even read any of it. I just wanted to get it because representation of hijab. So this is actually about two international students studying in America and they become roommates. So one of them is Saudi Arabian and one of them is Japanese. I explained a little bit earlier. Cannot wait to read this one. It's super duper short, so I might even do that tonight. The next one I bought was I Hear the Sunspot by Yuki Fumino, which is again about that boy who's hard of hearing and is very self-conscious about making friends, but then he makes a friend. You know, I'm reading the back of this and it says, in this new addition to the series. So I'm about to done hecked up. I'm gonna have to research this. I'm glad I caught that before I started reading it because I would have delved into this. Why does it say one? Again, don't know about this genre apparently. And then the third one that I got that ended up being the buy two get one free is the one about the girl whose memory resets every week, and so she's 1 week friends with this person every week, and it sounded so cute. I could not pass it up. Then I could not resist, so I also got the graphic novel Snot Girl, but the art in this is just so loud and cute. This is so beautiful. I definitely want to look more into reading more by these authors. And yay! I did some unnecessary shopping today. I went to TJ's. For what reason? I'll tell you the reason. It's because these toaster strudels, no, toaster pastries, I don't toast them, I just eat them. They're so good. And some other refrigerated stuff downstairs, but Trader Joe's is just my favorite place on the planet. I'm still reading Life After Life. I'm honestly gonna try and pick up an audiobook because I have puzzles to do out there. I have a new Sudoku book, so I have lots of stuff to be doing while I listen to an audiobook, which is no audiobook. So I'm gonna try and find Escaping from Houdini. I tried listening to it on Scribd, but Scribd is still on their bullshit about you can only listen to one audiobook per 1,000 years. I don't think my library has it either because I had, oh okay, I had an overdue library book that I just turned in, so hopefully I'll have the hold off my library account now. As soon as I find an audiobook, I will update you. This vlog is getting pretty long, so I might, I don't know, we'll see. Bruh. I just received a whole brick in the mail just now. I got an email a while ago asking if I wanted to review a certain book, and I was like, sure, I've heard a lot about that, send it my way. Didn't realize they were gonna send me the sequel to Les Miserables. It's huge! I gratefully accepted the review request for The Prairie of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon, which is a book that everyone has had on their radar, everyone's talking about. I'm still so shocked by how massive this is. When I got this in the mail, I thought someone sent me like a PR box because it was so thick. But this is a fantasy standalone. This is by the same author that did The Bone Season, which I have not read and don't intend to. So this book is about a queen who has been the leader of a kingdom for a hot second. Another woman is the lady in waiting, and she's loyal to a hidden society of mages, so I think it's a witch. In her role is that she is always protecting the queen with forbidden magic. And then there's a third character who's a dragon rider. I don't know, I don't think they're connected to the queen, but it seems like it's about 3 different female characters. There's no clear plot described in the synopsis, but it, like, obviously stuff happens because it's huge. The little sheet that they sent with it says, a celebration of fantasy that melds modern ideas with classical tropes, epic fantasy with court intrigue, travel through dangerous lands, fantastical religions, blood, love, and rhetoric. Basically, this just seems like a universe of its own. I'm so shocked by the size of it. I hope it is good, because if we're having to read, how many pages is this? 800 pages? Oh good, there's glossaries and stuff in the back. God bless. If I'm having to read 800 pages and there's just no action happening, it's not gonna happen. But also last night I started a new book, which I should not be doing. Better than not reading, am I right, lads? So I've just been in this phase where I don't feel like reading, and I've been very uninspired to pick anything up, and I know that there's one good solution to that, which is read trashy stuff. So I think until I get like my mojo back, I'm just gonna pick up the most basic things that I can. So because I really had nothing better to do, I picked up Beautiful Bastard by Christina Lauren. This is Christina Lauren's first book ever that was originally published on Wattpad, I think. And it's the story about this girl who works for her boss and they hate each other. It's like a great value hating game. And it's like they hate each other so much, but they're so attracted to each other. There's so much happening in chapter 1 and every chapter consequent. Because it's from authors that I know write really good romance, I think I'm giving it a little bit of a buffer of like, it's not that great, but like, it's them. So I don't want to talk about this in a way that's like, it's so good, go read it, because there definitely are some problems with it. But I don't think it's as trashy and horrible as some of the other books that I've read in the genre, like Colleen Hoover or Beautiful Disaster. I think the main thing I like about the book is that even though it is this really controlling, not controlling, but very like uptight, rude male character that's typical for the genre, he's offset with a main female character who is also just as strong. Because usually the problem with books about guys that are like macho men who are very demanding is that the girls are just kind of like, okay. But the main character in this is savage. She is just as snarky and just as brave. And I think she has the wit and the courage to match him. So it's not a situation where he's just trampling all over her, being like, I'm gonna fuck you in my office and then not talk to you for a week. Like, it doesn't seem very skeevy because the girl is equally as impassioned. But that being said, it is set in dual POV, and there were a couple of instances in the guy's perspective where I just was questioning like, because I don't want to be a hypocrite reading this knowing the authors have written better things than just this, but there are parts of this that reminds me of books that I hate, like in November 9, which is arguably one of the worst books that I've ever read. There's a line in the guy's perspective where he's talking about the girl was leaving his apartment and he wanted to physically hold her down on the pavement so that she couldn't leave him, and that kind of went unquestioned in the whole book, and that's why it really bothered me. And in this book, there's a part, I tabbed it because I want to talk about it because I'm trying not to brush this under the rug and be a hypocrite. There's a part where he says, I felt possessive of her, not in a romantic sort of way, but in a hit her over the head, drag her off by the hair, and fuck her kind of way. Like she was my toy and I was keeping the other boys in the sandbox from playing with her. Which has the same vibe as November 9. He's literally saying, I want to hit her over the head and drag her off by the hair. And that's not okay. And if it would have just left it like that, I would have been really upset by it and been like, ew. I mean, I still am like, ew. But afterward, literally in the same paragraph, he says, how sick is that? If she ever heard me admit that, she would cut off my balls. Like, so he's aware that that's a bad thought, and he's aware that it's not something he should be thinking. So it's hard to sort that through in my brain. Like, is this book a 1-star, immediate 1-star because it's gross? Or is that justified because he knows it's bad and because obviously the girl will fight for the right treatment of herself and they're still being respectful? Like, I wouldn't call this an unhealthy romance, but I mean, it's just kind of bananas. And it's not a relationship that I understand. I'm not just like, oh yeah, I walk into work every day and I want to have my boss collect my underwear in a drawer. Maybe this book is creepy. I don't know. I'm just talking through how I'm gonna be able to rate it because I don't know if this is a 2-star book or a 4-star book. Obviously I haven't finished it. Maybe there's a lot more growth to be done, but I was expecting this to just be straight up trash from page 1. And honestly, there's moments where I was like, oh my gosh, this is so annoying, but it's not that bad. So even at their worst, Christina Lauren is still better than most romance authors, I would say. Alright, that's my update. I'm gonna hunker down and read some more of this trashy romance because I read 118 pages of it last night when I would have otherwise been on Tumblr or something. So I'm gonna do that. My papa got me some chicken strips from the grocery store, which is my favorite food of all time. Not chicken strips from the grocery store, but just chicken strips. That is my plan for the rest of the day. Every day I keep telling myself tomorrow's gonna be the day I get my sleep schedule fixed, and it's not gonna be today. My goal was to finish off this reading vlog so that I can upload it today, because I'm going to a book signing later today and I want to do that for a different vlog so that it's not like a 45-minute vlog. But I wanted to finish this book so that I could wrap it all up and have more than one book read in this vlog. I just finished this. And I'm not gonna lie, I sort of bought it so I could hate read it because I thought it would be super corny because it was literally first written as Twilight fanfiction. But it's not that bad. I think I'm gonna end up giving it like a solid 3 stars. And that's not to say it's completely average. It's just that there's pros and cons. There's a lot of possessiveness. There's a lot of comparing girls with one another and sometimes a little bit of slut shaming and jealousy happening. I think the main issue would be like possessiveness and just like male bossiness. But then there's also the side of the book where the main character speaks up for herself and she points out all the wrong that he does. It's not up to the caliber of current Christina Lauren books where every single scene is so developed and all the characters are real. This one feels like it needs a lot more setup, and it kind of glosses over, I guess, like the mundane parts of the main character's life that it would usually highlight in their other books. So this book was pretty much just a highlight reel of when these two characters are together, because there's literally sex in every single chapter. I think it's their raunchiest book by far. I think the characters did end up having a mutual respect for one another, and as far as like hate to love relationships, I would argue that these characters aren't really characters I ever got attached to, but I understood the way that they thought and I liked how they interacted with one another. But I think if current Christina Lauren were to rewrite this or to make a new spin on enemies to lovers workplace people, I think it would be a complete knockout. Truly, the only thing I can say is it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be, which is a massive compliment because I thought it was gonna be diarrhea on paper. So I still have to finish Life After Life, and I forgot I was even reading a nonfiction ebook, so I have 2 things currently reading that I've got to finish up, but those will take place in the next vlog. Also in the next vlog, today at 7 p.m, I'm going to a book signing for Kirsten White, and I'm so excited. Even though going to book signings now as an adult is kind of weird because I feel, I don't know, I'll talk about that next vlog. But yeah, we're back in the vlogging game. Sorry it took me so long. I have a lot of sit-down videos planned as well. It's just hard to find the time, the lighting, and the motivation. Goodbye, everyone!